Good morning, gang. Happy Tuesday morning. Okay, we're back, right? I don't know, maybe you guys are seeing the same thing I am, maybe not. But it seems to be all of a sudden there's a whole lot of gloom and doom being talked about on social media, whether it's YouTube or Twitter or Facebook. Everybody's all sorts of panicked about stuff. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? Now, if you're worried, maybe you're not prepped enough, okay? I mean, we hear the stories about, we got chicken problems. We've got beef problems. We've got pork problems, wherever it would be. I'm still waiting for the fish issue. And you go, okay, if we got problems, what do I have in the freezer? What do I have in the canning jars? Maybe I can write out this problem. I mean, again, as far as I can remember, we hear about bird flu, Christ, every year, every other year. I can think of at least the past 20. I mean, I still remember the early 2000s when I was living in Indiana, and we were talking about H5N1. That's 20 years ago. Okay. And we're still eating chicken, and we're still eating eggs, and if you eat duck, you're still eating duck or turkey or whatever, right? We've heard about swine flu so many times in the past. We've heard about mad cow disease. Has it ever stopped you from buying pork chops or getting ground beef or pot roast or chicken breasts or whatever? Hey, haven't seen KFC go out of business, have you? Just saying, okay? There's a lot of people that try to make a living off of preaching gloom and doom. The news media is great about that, okay? What was it? I think it was Don Henley. The bubble-headed bleach blonde goes on at 5. She can tell you about the plane crash with a gleam in her eye, right? This is it. Bad news sells. People like to be scared of something. The whole point of prepping is to make sure you're not. This is it. We look at this storm that just whipped through, both of these storms that just whipped through the South, the Midwest. I mean, I know Missouri, Arkansas, you guys got dumped on, stuff like that. And I'll bet that you saw a whole bunch of people freaking out, right? But my question is, did you? Probably not, because my guess is most of you were like, okay, we're stuck in the house for 3, 4, 5 days. BFD, right? I've got food, I've got generators, I've got water. If the power goes out, I've got that taken care of. Everything was done. You weren't freaking out. That's kind of where I laugh at some of the stuff that is presented to the public. People try to scare you for a dime. And no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sell you something. That was the whole reason for starting this channel 5 years ago in the first place. So I got sick and tired of all the gloom and doom preaching and all the sales pitches. It's like, no, give me solutions, right? If chicken is so bad, that, oh my God, the prices of eggs are high, right? Okay. How many eggs do you have in your storage? You dehydrated them? You froze them? You have your own chickens, right? A lot of us did all that. Oh, okay. If I have to buy eggs because I need fresh eggs once in a blue moon, all right, I'm doing a lot of baking or something. Sure, okay, I get it. But maybe you were able to buy the eggs because you didn't have to buy 5 pounds of ground beef for meals this week because, you had it in the freezer from when you saw it on sale 3 months ago and stocked up. These are the things. Prepping is a lot of planning and doing what's right before the problem comes about. Take that into consideration when you look at what's going on in California right now. Okay. Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, they're trying to recall her. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, this started overnight. They're trying to recall him. Why? Because they didn't plan, they didn't prepare for an SHTF event, and I think we can call the wildfires in California an SHTF event, certainly. Okay. They didn't plan, they didn't prepare. And now everybody else who was under them has to pay the price. And if you want to use a correlation here, okay, let's say mayor of Los Angeles over the citizens of Los Angeles, you over your kids, okay? Same type of thing. There are certain people that are reliant on other people in situations. In this case, the people of Los Angeles were reliant on leadership, and leadership failed for lack of planning, lack of preparation, and doing stupid shit, okay? We hear all the excuses coming out of California, the lies, Adam Schiff, the reservoirs were full. No, dumbass. Take a look at all the photos that show the reservoirs were empty, okay? We listen to the DEI hires that are in LA, especially the assistant fire chief, well, if a man needs me to carry him out of a fire, maybe he was in the wrong place to begin with. Really, bitch? Okay, no. Sorry. Screw this DEI crap. Start hiring people that are competent for the job. I'm not hiring, a 300-pound ballet dancer. Just not happening. I want to hire people that are competent to do the job. I don't care if they're Hispanic, Asian, Indian, white. Are they competent? Can they do the job? I don't care if they're male or female. I don't care if they're gay or straight. Can they do the job? Contrary to what one of the other morons in LA said, in a situation like this, people be happier when somebody that looks like them comes to save them. You know what? I'm unconscious from smoke inhalation. I really don't care. I can't see you anyway. No, excuse me. I'd rather burn to death than have a Hispanic save me. Really? Okay. These people have to go. These people failed to plan, to prepare, to do anything. And of course, it's not them that are suffering. Gavin Newsom will probably be having a meal at his favorite French restaurant sometime this week. Karen Bass will probably continue preaching her Marxist communist beliefs to everybody because they continue to lie. My favorite with all of this is they're trying to blame Donald Trump for the fires, okay? Which I think is absolutely hilarious because in case they haven't noticed, Trump's a private citizen for another 6 days, hasn't had any authority in nearly 4 years. But somehow it's Trump's fault. Got it. Okay. So, planning, preparing, taking care of stuff. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. Those of you guys that are military, remember that line, okay? California does not have leadership. And if you're following them, you're a fool, okay? It's funny seeing some stories about Hollywood elite bitching about the leadership in California. There's a story I saw yesterday where some of the Hollywood elite think that the state may flip, or at least the city may flip to conservative, because they're like, the logic of, I voted for this Democrat and they completely failed me, so I'm going to vote for another Democrat. And she said, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. No shit, Sherlock. We've been trying to tell you this for decades. Okay. Bad policy is bad policy no matter which side of the aisle somebody writes it from. It's going to be interesting to see what happens starting today in Washington with putting leadership in who's not DEI. Okay. No more of this man in a dress, Admiral Levine. No more of the Little Orphan Annie lesbian black press secretary and people getting jobs because of their skin color or because of their sexual preference or whatever. Okay. Now, today we're going to start the confirmation hearings of competent people. And I think Pete Hegseth is the first one that goes under the knife today. Secretary of Defense. It's interesting because if you look at Trump's cabinet appointments, DEI was not a criteria. Yet he still found competent women, competent men, competent people of different ethnicities. They're out there. It's just not a criteria to get hired. I mean, come on. We've just lived through 4 years of a vice president who was hired not because of competency, but because of DEI. Leadership, preparation, planning are key to surviving all the gloom and doom that is out there at whatever level. For a lot of us, the policies that come out of Washington will affect our lives a little bit. Okay. I mean, personally, I have my stand on abortion, okay, but it's not like it's ever going to affect me directly. Mrs. P gets pregnant, we got problems. Okay. But all right, maybe on the local level, the leadership there, my county commissioners, my county mayor, okay, they may make decisions on, gee, we're going to repave this road or we're going to allow this company to build a store or something like that. Sure, that may affect me a little bit. But in the long run, the ultimate responsibility for my planning, for my preparedness, for my survival, the leadership that this household is looking at rests on me. I'm the one that has to make those decisions. And I'm not making them because of doom and gloom or DEI. I'm making them because there's a wife, there's 2 dogs, and in a bad situation, probably a daughter whose life depends on the decisions I make. Not because I'm a white guy, not because I'm straight, not because I'm Christian, because I thought about it ahead of time. Pinball out.